Excuse me, ma'am, your mic is muted.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay now?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So good morning, class. Please switch off your mics. And the standby instructions are that last time when we met, we did message writing. Okay. Now, notice writing and message writing have different formats, and you are supposed to sit and see all the details, and they are very scoring if you follow the thorough tips of it. So I would like you all to go through that in details. And today we'll be beginning with the English literature chapter, Jenny's Amber Beads. I hope you all can hear me. Can you see, children, can you see me?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, ma'am.
I'm going for screen sharing. That is why you're not able to see me now. And I've put it on audio mode. Okay. Now on your screen, see the first chapter called Jenny's Amber Beads. Is it visible to each one of you?
Ma'am, it is not showing on. No, ma'am.
Beg your pardon? Can you see the chapter?
Ma'am, only black screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see now?
Ma'am.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Uh, now, can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for your response. Okay. So here we are. Jenny's Amber Beads. Now, amber is an ancient tree juice that has solidified over millions of years. This sap of juice comes out of breaks or cuts in the bark of trees. Once it comes out of the tree, it hardens and drops on the ground. So now, any one of you, have you all seen a rubber plant? Rubber का पेड़ देखा है?
Yes, ma'am.
So now if you cut the bark or cut the leaf, you see that a white sticky liquid comes out of it. Now, in the same way, this amber, it comes out of a bark of a tree and it oozes. If you put a cut on it, a a thick liquid comes out of it. Now, this is called amber once it is sorry, once it is hardened. Now, they are talking of it that the amber used to come out. That amber is basically those. Have you seen the marble? Have you seen a marble kancha?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, so when
Yes.
these insects and all, they used to sit on this bark of this tree, and the juice oozed out. Oozed out means came out. It hardened and solidified, and the insects etc. who sat, they got trapped inside that amber. And when it hardened in the course of time, it solidified and turned into amber. Is this much clear to each one? Is this much clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
ma'am.
So now we begin with the chapter. There are two questions given here. How do you think the insects got inside the beads? And would you like to possess these expensive beads? Why? What would you do with them? Now we'll come back to these two questions after we finish the chapter. Okay? So let's read. Now read the story about a Scottish girl who owned a necklace of amber beads. So here is the chapter. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Jenny was a little Scottish girl who lived among the Highlands. Now, the very first line tells you about the story being depicted in a place called Scotland. Okay, and she was a Scottish girl, just as India. Okay, so Scottish girl means she was from Scotland and she lived among the Highlands. So underline this two informations that you get from the very first line. She's a Scottish girl and she lived among the Highlands. Highlands means the raised lands where the physical features of Scotland is. Her home was a little hut in the beautiful hills and her food was soup and bread. Now, this shows that she belonged to a poor family. She lived in a hut among the beautiful hills, and her basic food was the soup and bread, a very layman's food, a very down to earth person would have such food. The one who's not very rich. These contents in the passage, they tell you that the girl was not from a very well-to-do family. Jenny's father kept sheep on hillsides. Now, the work his father did was rearing these sheep, and he used to graze them on the hillsides. Instead of wearing a coat, he wrapped himself in his plaid for protection from the cold winds that blew from great snow-covered mountains. Now, again, these few lines, they very clearly show you that the girl did not belong to a very rich status, and the father was also poor because he used to wear, instead of a coat, he used to wear a plaid, that is a scarf or a shawl kind of a thing. Okay, so he used to wear that. Jenny had her yellow hair bound about with a little snood. Her face was tanned by exposure to the weather, and her hands were hardened by work, for she helped her mother to cook and sew, to spin and weave on their looms. So all these lines tell you the work they did. Now, being a small little girl, still she had a keen interest in doing the household work and helping her mother in the daily chores. Her hands had become hardened because of the daily work which she did. She not only did cooking, but she sewed clothes. She used to spin and weave clothes on the looms and basically earn their living through these small works. And they have told you she had yellow hair, which she kept in a bound, and little snood. That means a ribbon was tied, etc. Okay? Just as any down-to-earth person would do and carry herself. Jenny's hair beads had all these, sorry. One thing that Jenny treasured was a necklace of amber beads. Her grandmother had given the beads to Jenny on her 12th birthday. Underline the age. The age of the girl is 12 years. Age of the girl is 12 years. Can you all see it? One of you open your mics and tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
It's still visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a second, children. Sorry for the delay. Can you see the necklace being worn by the girl and she's admiring herself in the mirror?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So coming here. So it was her favorite and treasured possession she had, this necklace as a bead of beads. Her grandmother had given it to her on her 12th birthday. That means she was a small girl of 12 years. Now the beads had the rich color of bright sunshine. When an amber bead was rubbed, it gave off a fragrance and it could attract things like a magnet. Now, have you ever seen when you rub your comb on a rough surface, on a smooth surface, and then if you bring it next to the paper or something, that comb gets charged up and the paper clings to the comb? Have you seen that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In the same way, this amber, when it was rubbed, it gave out a very sweet smell. Fragrance means sweet smell, and it could attract the things like a magnet. It is not that it was a magnet, but just it get charged up and it attracted the things like a magnet. Okay, and it had bright, rich sunshine color. Can you see on this picture a piece of amber here? Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
the picture.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
okay. This is a picture where the insect is trapped inside the amber bead. Now, once this sticky substance came out of a tree, it stayed on the bark, and supposing an insect sat on it because of its lovely rich texture and the fragrance, it attracted the insects, etc. So the insects got trapped in this gluey, sticky liquid and of amber called amber. And later on, this amber hardened, and the insects could still get trapped in it. In the same sequence, can you see here where they are showing you the beaded necklace also in detail? Can you see this? The insects are the various kind of the various ferns, etc., are trapped inside the bead, and she was wearing this bead. Can you see this? She's wearing the bead. So this tells you about the necklace in detail, this paragraph. Now, Jenny's beads had all these properties. Besides these, the beads were wonderful and lovely as well. So apart from having a rich, lovely sunshine color, in spite of having a lovely fragrance and attracting like a magnet, it was also wonderful and lovely to wear, and no doubt Jenny loved it a lot because her grandmother had given it to her on her 12th birthday. Inside one of her beads was a delicate bit of ferny moss in a globe of yellow light, as if it were in the sunlight. In, in another was a tiny fly. His little wings spread out and raised to flight for flight. One bead held two pine needles lying across each other. In another, there was a tiny, beautiful acorn cup. So now they're telling you various beads, what all was trapped. In one of it, it was the ferns were trapped, the mosses were trapped. Now, these ferns and mosses are a variety of trees or plants. You must have seen the fern plant in your garden also. It's a very common plant. And can you see the various insects all trapped inside? And they are saying that one of them had a picture of a insect which was just with its tiny wings open, as if it was just about to spread out its wing and fly. But then it got trapped. So ferny moss is a small flowerless plant, okay, with no flowers. Okay. Moving further, some beads had golden beetles in them. Then what is it? Beads were all so beautiful that Jenny da- uh, dash a lot of time just admiring them, spent a lot of time just admiring them. So now she loved the beads so much that most of the time she used to stand in front of the mirror and admire her beads by wearing them and finding them very attractive and beautiful. Now, how do you think did little Scott Jenny came into possession of such a treasure? Now, they put up a question that how do you think that the girl got this beaded necklace? Her grandfather, Kenneth, please underline the name. Grandmother's name is not given in the passage, but grandfather's name is given, and his name is Kenneth. Got the, what is it? Will you somebody read it? Her grandfather Kenneth got the,
Got them ears.
okay. Got them years back when he was a young lad. So it was years back when grandfather was a young man. He had brought these beads. And how did he get it? Let's see. He had got the beads from the wreck of a ship, Washwalk. Please underline the name of the ship.
Meaning a plant.
Yes. Goshawk, can you see the ship behind the pictures in the scene where it got wrecked? Wrecked means it got broken. So the ship had broken, and in that shipwreck he found these beads there, which had sunk in the sea waters near his Highland home. He had gone looking for what he could save from the wreck. There, among the slippery seaweeds, he had accidentally stepped on this piece of amber. It was a clear, shining lump, and the creatures had been embedded in it. So now, the grandfather called Kenneth, there was a shipwreck. The ship had broken down. The ship's name was Goshawk. And this grandfather, when he was a young man, he went to this shipwreck to see and speculate if he could take out anything, if anything could be saved from that broken ship. And while he was looking and searching for things in the ship, he stepped on a slippery liquid kind of a thing which had hardened, and this was the amber's lump. This was a whole lump. It was not in a form of a bead or something. It was a huge lump. ठीक है, एक पूरा एक उसका piece था, out of which he carved out beautifully. The creatures were embedded in it. That means they were all stuck in it, inside it. So Kenneth had carved out the beads himself and had given them to his wife as a wedding gift. So now what he did was, from this lump of amber, he had carved out small, small circles with insects and various other ferns and mosses trapped inside them. And he had made a necklace out of it and had given it to his wife as a wedding gift. So now you can make sense that grandfather Kenneth found this amber and he found this amber as a lump. He took out the insects with with these beads in it, these insects trapped inside these beads, and he made a necklace and he had given it to Jenny's grandmother on their wedding as a wedding gift. And then from grandmother, it was given to Jenny on her 12th birthday. Is the sequence clear to you? He had worked very carefully to save the embedded insect or weed in each piece. Now, he had worked out very sincerely, very carefully when he was carving out the beads out of the lump, and he had made sure that every bead had something or the other inside it. Maybe a small little insect, or maybe a small little corn leaf or a stick inside it. And he very carefully found out these pieces and made a necklace out of it. How his young wife had loved it. She had worn it for many years and then had left it to her granddaughter. Now, this lovely necklace, this Kenneth's wife, that means grandfather's wife, grandmother, had worn it for years and she loved wearing it. She loved keeping it with her as a treasured possession. And later on, and after, it was given to Jenny when she had died last year. That means on her 12th birthday, it was given, and it is 13 years she's now. Okay, last year means 12, पिछले साल. Okay, so पिछले साल on her 12th birthday it was given. So now in this year, what would be the present age of Jenny? 13 years. She had said, "Let little Jenny have my amber beads and keep them as long as she lives." And before dying, she had given this lovely necklace to Jenny, and she had told that she would love to see this with Jenny and she can keep it as long as she lives. But what puzzled Jenny was how the amber came to be on the seashore, and most of all, how the bees and mosses were frozen inside it. So she took it up, so she looked it up in a book. Now, while she used to wear that necklace, what was she amazed of? She thought of how these bees and mosses and insects had got trapped inside this frozen lump, and she used to think and wonder about it a lot. So she thought of reading it in a book and knowing what is amber and how it is formed and all the details about it in a book. Jenny read that long before any humans appeared on Earth. Children, this particular paragraph is very important. So if you are having a pencil in your hand, please write here important. So Jenny read that long before any human appeared on Earth, that means early forms of life in a very early age, when Earth was still forming, the Scottish Highlands were covered with forests. So instead of these highlands, that means instead of these mountains, she lived on a mountain, highlands. So instead of these highlands, this Scottish area was not a highland. It was not a mountain area. It was a forest. There were oaks, poplars, beeches, and pines. So there were all forest and forest trees which covered the area. And the names of the trees which were popular at that time, which grew in that area, were oaks, poplars, beeches, and pines. Now, these are the names of the trees. Among them was one kind of pine, tall and stately, from which a shining yellow gum flowed out. This beautiful yellow gum was fragrant. Now, all among these trees which she has named here, there was one kind of a tree called pine. It was tall and stately. That means it was huge tree. Most of the trees of these kind grow on mountain areas. So from that tree, that tall and stately tree, a yellow shining gum flowed. This beautiful gum was fragrant and it had smell. It had beautiful smell. Right, important for the next paragraph also. The second paragraph is also very important. Thousands of little insects fluttered about it in the warm sunshine. They were attracted by its pleasant smell and also by its taste. Once they alighted upon it, they stuck to it fast and could not get away. The great yellow drops oozing out surrounded and at last covered them entirely. Wind-blown bits of moss, leaves, acorns, cones, and little sticks were soon stuck in the fast-flowing gum. As time went by, the gum hardened more and more and became amber. So now they are telling you how these animals, insects, and ferns and mosses got trapped inside it. What happened was when a gum oozed out from the bark of a tree, it was shiny, it was sticky, and it had fragrance. Now the insects got attracted to it, and it was sweet in taste. So insects sat to sip it, and as they got near it, they got trapped in its sticky liquid. And later on, as the liquid is still kept on oozing and the insects being trapped in it, they got fixed in it. And later on, when the winds blew, etc., in that same amber, that sticky liquid, that gum, even the beads and even the mosses, etc., leaves, etc., they got stuck. And later on, when the uh, gum kept on oozing, they got formed in it and hardened in it, and they solidified and became amber. In those very old times, the land sometimes sank down into the sea, so deep that the water covered the very mountain tops. Then, after several centuries, the land slowly lifted up again to sink perhaps yet again. So now this highland, which was once a forest area, because of you must have heard about a movie called Ice Age. Have you seen a movie Ice Age? It has number of sequences also. Ice Age 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Have you seen the movie Ice Age? where the land,
Yes,
where the
ma'am.
land. Okay, because of the geographical factors, the land which was here had sunken down deep inside the sea, and then it had rose again. So all this sinking and then rising again was the movement of the earth, because of the movement of the earth and various changes. So these had made the amber bees sink into the deep sea, and later on, when the land was again risen up, it came up to the shores. Okay. The great forests of the north of Scotland, the oak, the poplars, and the amber pines sank into the deep sea. They are lying at the bottom of the ocean. The wood and the gum hardened like stone. Only the great storms could disturb them as they lay half buried in the sand. So now these uh, amber beads, along with the Scottish forest area, they had got embedded in the deep sea. And later, with the turmoil in the sea, they had again risen. And you know that the ship had got wrecked. That means the ship had broken, maybe because of that stormy thing that happened. The land must have risen up and the sink must have broken. So, because of the turmoil in the sea, this amber beads, which were lying deep inside the seabed, had got hardened with the passage of time and now had risen up to the sands. It was one of those greatest storms that had brought the lump of amber closer to the shore where Jenny's grandfather found it. When he gave the necklace to his wife, he did not know he was giving her a little piece of nature, and that his granddaughter would wear it one day. So now the last summing up lines are very beautifully said, that while he was giving this amber beads necklace to his wife, and the wife gave it later on to Jenny. He was not knowing that he's giving a piece of nature. Why nature? Because it is a scene and creation of nature. Nature had created this amber out of the oozing liquid from a tree. So this piece of nature was very adorable and very close to Jenny's heart. Jenny realized if uh, Jenny realized if we could only walk on the bottom of the sea, what treasures we might find. And after reading about the amber and how it was formed, she was so curious. She wanted to see the seabed, and she says that if this small little thing, this necklace which she's wearing, had come from the deep down inside the sea, where it got embedded in a form of an amber lump and was found by Jenny's grandfather. She was curious to see other things also, and she would wonder what other treasures that might be there inside the seabed. Now, this particular passage is written by Jane, and so please underline this name, and you need to know this. Okay. So we stop here with this. We finish this chapter. Next time when we meet, we'll be doing the question answers of it. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you have any question, please ask me.